Hi, I'm Stephen from Marching Out Together, Leeds United's LGBT plus supporters group. Marching Out Together was formed in the summer of 2017 when two Leeds United season ticket holders approached the club about sorting out an LGBT plus fan group. The club was really receptive to this and put things out on their social media platform to see if there was interest from other fans. In August 2017, this is when the board was formed. This was a board of 10 LGBT plus supporters of the club and their allies that came together to create Marching Out Together and start to work with the club to eradicate homophobia within football. As of today, in August 2020, we have over 300 active members of Marching Out Together. We have 2.5 million Twitter followers, and we also have a presence on Facebook and on Instagram. So what do we do? So we work to promote LGBT plus inclusion within football and within sport. It may surprise people that there's no out gay player within the professional football league. That's both the Premier League and the football leagues. We work closely with the club to make sure that Ellen Road and Thorpe Arch, Leeds United's training ground, is supportive and inclusive for anyone who attends. This could be players, this could be the fans, this could be away fans, but we want to make sure that the LGBT plus community feels really supportive when they go to the game. We do this by meeting before matches or meeting after matches so that people have someone that they can attend the match with if they don't have anyone. We work closely with the club to improve stewarding so that if any homophobia is heard around the ground, the stewards know how to respond to this. And we're working really closely with them on improving our signage so that people know how to report any homophobic abuse should they hear it. Further to this, there's also an umbrella organisation called Pride in Football. They work with all the LGBT plus fan groups across all of football and bring it under one umbrella to make sure that we're all focused and working on the same sort of things. From a Marching Out Together perspective, we've worked closely with many people in and around the Leeds community. This could be West Yorkshire Sport on BBC Radio Leeds, where we've been on and talked about our message, football, Leeds Pride. This could be other local community groups in and around Leeds, where we've given talks about what Marching Out Together are doing. Or Leeds University, where we've also had some strong connections and talked to them about what we're trying to achieve, which is to make football inclusive for everyone, to make Ellen Road a really welcoming and supportive place for everyone, and just really to make sure that as an LGBT supporter, you feel that you can go to the game. People ask what the dream would be. The dream would be that a group like ours didn't need to exist, but in reality, we're aware that that probably isn't going to be the case anytime soon. So what we would like and what the dream would be is that everyone feels welcome at Ellen Road. No one ever second guesses that they don't feel welcome and that they can come along as a gay fan, as a lesbian or as a transgender person to Ellen Road and have the support of everyone. Finally, asked what a kind of Leeds would look like. I think for me, a kind of Leeds is about no matter what your sexual orientation, what your race, what your gender, in Leeds you feel inclusive and in Leeds you can do and be whoever you want to be. I think from Marching Out Together's perspective, we want that to be the case at Ellen Road, which obviously is in Leeds. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kendi Gwantai, and I am president of the Leeds African Communities Trust. I would like to say a big thank you to Gloria Kimberley for inviting me to be part of this wonderful initiative. I am both humbled and pleased to be here. So I will start by telling you a little bit about the Leeds African Communities Trust. So we started last year, that is 2019 in September. when a group of Africans led by Councillor Abigail Marshall Khatun decided to show solidarity with other people around the world who were condemning the xenophobic killings that were taking place in South Africa. So as a result, there was a demonstration outside the Leeds Civic Hall that was very successful. Now, a decision was made that we should harness that passion that we showed and the commitment to help our people and speak up for them. We should harness that and put it into something positive, good, and sustainable. And hence, the Leeds African Communities Trust was birthed. So at that time, we didn't quite know exactly how to go about this or exactly what to do. And it's taken us time to build, but we recognized that the need was there. We recognized that people were so excited when they heard that we had this idea. And it has been growth since then till now, but it's been absolutely amazing. As we stand, we have a number of trustees. So besides myself, there is Mr. Abdul Rashid Thomas, who's our vice president. We have Mrs. Tuya Tembo, who takes care of our admin. We have Mrs. Lucy Ndlovu, who takes care of our PR and comms. We have Mr. Yankuba Sawo, who takes care of our finances. And we have Mrs. Victoria Ajayi, who is our community relations director. So it is really good to work with this outstanding group of people. But outside of them, we also have community leaders who we work with, because our model is one that brings together organizations that are for people, run by and for people of African descent living and working in Leeds. Now, those leaders come and sit with us, and they are the ones who come to us and say, hey, these are the issues, these are the concerns, these are the challenges that our communities have. And together with them, we strategize, we prioritize, and we decide what the best approach is to try and meet those needs that are coming from the membership. So our community leaders are the lifeline of the Leeds African Communities Trust. Now, I will tell you a little bit about, I'll give you an example of how this works effectively for us. So when we had the COVID-19, COVID-19 lockdown, the community somehow, we got to hear through the community, through the leaders, that there was a huge need, there was a gap where people were not being able to access nutritious foods, and people were not being able sometimes to access food at all, because there are people living in this Leeds city of ours, as well as the rest of the country, who have no recourse to public funds. Therefore, they cannot access help when they need it from the government or from local government. And we realized that this was a humanitarian situation. This was not time for us to ask who's documented, who's undocumented, who's this, who's that. People were in a situation where they couldn't get food to feed their families. And we know that members of the BAME community were disproportionately affected when it came to COVID. So we got together with the trustees and the leaders and with the Leeds City Council, and we came up with the first multi-ethnic food hub in Leeds. In that food hub, we served people from different parts of Africa, from the Caribbean, from Asia, from countries like Nepal, from the Middle East, as well as white British people. We did not turn anybody away. Anybody who was in need was welcome. We were able to provide fresh fruit and vegetables. We were able to provide ethnic foods that were fit for purpose and met the needs of the communities that we served. So ours was continuous research, finding out what people ate, what people needed, and making sure they had it. In the process, we came to understand that there was another problem, and that was a problem of period poverty. Because if people cannot afford to feed themselves, surely they cannot afford to buy period products. And we knew that our ladies and our young girls were suffering. We came together with Miss Tina Leslie from the from Freedom for Girls, and we worked very closely with her throughout until July, the end of July, when we closed the center. Now, at that time, we were able to give hundreds, thousands actually, I would say, of sanitary products where they were needed. And that has been a service that the community has really appreciated. But we are not just about providing relief and help and support. That is a big thing, and being able to step in the gap is great. But we are also about educating. We are also about highlighting issues. We are also about gathering information and data and doing research to demonstrate the impact that we are making in this city, and also to see if there is a way we can continue to grow the impact and contribution that we are making here. So, for instance, we had a webinar that was very well attended where, in response to what was happening after the George Floyd killing, we decided we were going to look at our curriculum, we were going to look at our students, we were going to look at our young people in high schools specifically, and see the experiences that they were having there around race and racism. So we had a powerful conversation where young people came and shared their experiences in front of MPs, in front of local councillors, in front of the police, in front of head teachers, in front of teachers, and in front of parents. It was an amazing session. It was well attended, and it was great for us to build collaborations amongst ourselves and with our allies to see how we can start to tackle this. And I am pleased to say that the Leeds City Council is making great strides in this area, and change is already happening. And we are very, very proud to be part of that. So the dream is for us to see a much more cohesive city, to see a much more inclusive city, and to see an African community that is proud of itself, that is empowered, that is sustainable in the fact that whatever it is that it decides to engage itself in, and celebrates its diversity as well, because Africa is not one place. And that is why we don't at any point encourage our communities, our community leaders, we do not encourage them to disband their communities, so that they can be part of the Leeds African Communities Trust. We encourage them to keep their community groups and their community organizations, because it is important that they root themselves in that way. But then we are here to create a platform where they can work with other leaders, okay, where they can work with other communities to make sure that they, especially where their needs are similar, that they are speaking in one voice. So that is why we are here. So that is our dream, to make sure or to see that people of African descent can be proud, can make a greater contribution here, can be able to support themselves as well in a much more sustainable way. An empowered community is one that brings value to itself and brings value to other communities that they interface with, wherever they live, wherever they are, and wherever they go. And a kinder Leeds for us is one that allows that to happen. A kinder Leeds is one that celebrates diversity and encourages people, no matter where they are from, to come together and feel part of, feel a sense of identity and affiliation. Because for us, regardless of what we look like, regardless of what we sound like, this is home for us and our children. So a kinder Leeds is one that welcomes people who are different, people who look, feel, and sound different, respects them, and allows them to flourish. Because when that happens, we all benefit. So thank you once again for taking time to listen to me, and thank you, Kinder Leeds, for putting this together.
Hi, I'm Grace from Sparking Community, and I'm based here in Kirkstall in Leeds. I guess you can call what I do sort of urban street art, so I guess that makes me an urban artist. And I use urban art to start climate conversations and brighten the area and build community. I paint electrical boxes like this one. This is the first one. This is where it all started. To bring colour to the streets of Leeds and to incorporate the people who live there in something bright and colourful that they can take ownership of and be proud of. And that's how this came about. Just a box near where I live, and we got 18 kids on the street back in 2018 to put their handprints on this box and partake in this project. And still today they come past and go, "That's my hand, look how much my hand's grown," and all that sort of thing. And that's kind of just where it started. Yeah, it was just a lovely project to which brought everyone together, and through kind of engaging with the kids who play on the street, I got to know their parents, and we just built a lovely community in our neighbourhood. Initially inspired to paint the boxes after seeing the lovely boxes that Burley Banksy had painted in Burley. And when I thought about what I wanted to paint on mine, I was really inspired by the climate movement at the time, and just really felt it was important to use sort of public art to get the message of the climate crisis out there. And I thought I could do this using minimal words and pictures and art, just to make people think. So this was sort of my main motivator for the boxes that I was doing. Some of you might have come across craftivism, which is craft and activism. So it's a slower form of protest, and I think my work falls into this category because it's sort of using my creativity to protest about a certain issue or raise awareness. And so my boxes have mainly all got a climate theme to spark conversations, to get people thinking about their carbon footprint, about their plastic use, about the way they travel, what they eat and everything like that, and to wake people up a little bit more to the emergency that we find ourselves in. At least I hope that's what it does. However, it is art, so it can be interpreted in many different ways, and as it's also a journey, this journey to reducing your carbon footprint, journey to zero waste, and all these kind of things, to more sustainable living, it will speak to different people at different times. But I'm just hoping to be part of somebody's conversation. They say, "Oh yeah, there's this box painted down my road that has something on it that relates to this conversation that we're having here," so I just want each box to say something different about kind of the climate emergency, and just be this really visible sign to what Leeds is doing, to be part of solving the climate crisis. And I saw a great opportunity on Kirkstall Bridge to do a big street art mural that would shine a light on air pollution over this junction, which is in the bottom of the valley. So the air pollution from the traffic that gets bottlenecked over the river is really, really bad. In fact, it's illegal levels, and nothing is being done about it. There's no way for active travel to happen in this area, as the road is very dangerous and really doesn't encourage people to cycle over this bridge. So that means more people in their cars, that means more air pollution, more traffic, and this is something that we need to change as a city if we're going to reach our goals of being net carbon zero by 2030. So I took my design proposal to the councillors, who said, "Brilliant, go for it. It looks great." And then I also spoke to Network Rail, who own the panels specifically over the railway line, just between Kirkstall Bridge pub and Hollybush. And then I started on the project with helpers and volunteers that I just met over Instagram, on my Instagram page. And the project's called Real Action LS5, and the idea is that it's a film strip with different panels of interactive art. So you can only interact with the art that's been painted on there if you're walking. So it encourages active travel, and it gets people intrigued about what it is, and you need to get closer basically to have a good look. So what you do is you sort of pose in front of it and have your photo taken, which kind of links really nicely into this sort of social media era that everybody's participating in. And each box will also have like an action. So that will link and give them a bit more food for thought, sow a few seeds and that sort of thing. So the aim is to really make people think a bit more about climate and also the air pollution, and to engage with their MP and to engage with politics, and just to have a bit more involvement and sort of start that journey of demanding change on this really, really important topic. And this can all be done through art. And I believe that's what a Kinder Leeds looks like. A Kinder Leeds looks like a greener Leeds, a Leeds where people care about sustainability, care about the air that we breathe, care about what our neighbourhoods look like, and care for the environment that we live in and the nature around us. If we don't do this, we are facing a existential crisis, and that is going to make living on this planet extremely hard, and it's already affecting the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in poorer countries all over the world. So my dream would be that Leeds becomes more aware of this, carbon neutral, that it would be an amazing community, would be known for its community, its supporting of everybody who lives here, and that it wouldn't be known as a city of shopping, that the excesses of the shopping and that sort of thing would just be not something that it's known for, that it would be known as a cultural, colourful and friendly city. These kids know what active travel's all about, and this is what the future of Leeds will look like, with the kids and everybody using non-polluting methods of transport.
Hi, I'm Claire and this is Emma, and together we are the Wren Bakery.
About a year ago we started this project, and it came out of our experience with working with women in Leeds who suffered from like a lot of disadvantage, so it had quite a chaotic background, and found that with a criminal record and no qualifications it was very difficult to find a job. Women who maybe their self-esteem was low through things that had happened to them. So we felt that there was a real need to find a way to do a training programme with a small group of women to build confidence and skills for employment.
We work with 5 women at a time and we take them on 6 months of training. So we equip them to be confident bakers, we teach them barista skills, and we give them the opportunity to come and join us on our vintage van, where we go to different farmers markets and parks in Leeds, and they have the opportunity to sell their cakes and to sell their coffee and to increase their confidence in training with us. We work with them 1 day a week at a local community centre in Meanwood, and we spend the day together learning all these kind of different aspects of our training and building a portfolio of their skills. And at the end of 6 months, we celebrate their graduation as we go on to our next stage of training.